Verdi's in Giorno di Regno is kind of, it has a reputation. It sort of has the reputation of being the opera that kept Verdi from writing comedy for another 50 years. You know, Verdi wrote 27 operas. 2 of them were comedies, his second and his last. Everything else was a tragedy. The challenges about it, it has the storyline and the feel of a Donizetti comedy like Elixir of Love, but it has the music. I mean, it's Verdi. You can hear snippets of what's coming. You hear snippets of Traviata. You hear snippets of some of the very martial, heroic music that's written in Don Carlo or Otello. This gesture of a bigger Verdi sings there. But it's an intimate comedy.
It's a piece that we know as a failure. It was a famous failure, Verdi's second opera. And my goal is that people come out of the theater and think it's not a bad piece. Why did it fail? That's not so bad. It's very charming. It's an unusual style. It's a young man, a young composer developing his own style, and you can certainly hear where he's going.
My character is the ingenue. And she is in love with a gentleman named Eduardo, a young, strapping lad. But my father, the Baron, has arranged a marriage with a man of means, the tesoriere, the treasurer of this place where we live. So I am being basically set up with an old, crotchety, gross old dude.
One of the things that we wanted to do with the Verdi is to kind of keep it light and keep it buoyant. And in the 1830s, there was this time period just post Napoleon and before we got heavy with the Victorian age, of these skirts that kind of came off the floor, hemlines, you'd see women's ankles. And so we really played around with that. It's called the Romantic time period. And I really kind of played up that so that the skirts and the hemlines are kind of lighter and a little bit more buoyant, and all the costumes in that respect are kind of have a little bit of a fun, light flair to them.
The Verdi is the most, it's the largest show, it has the largest cast, and also is the most comic of all 3 shows. And there's a lot of business on stage. They're preparing for a double wedding, so we get to see decorations, flowers come in and out, and there's a lot of chaos and movement on stage, controlled chaos.
No one's ever done it before. I mean, this is my 5th Verdi opera this season. I'm sort of working backwards. I did Macbeth, and I did Don Carlo and Macbeth, and then last month I did Nabucco, which is Verdi's 3rd opera, which is a huge success, and now I'm doing this opera. When the opera came through, I thought, well, this is a great opportunity for me to do an opera that's rarely performed, but also to help out a young company and try to get people to come in and see it and support the opera in this great town. It's really important.
I think what Odyssey Opera is doing is wonderful. I think that the repertoire Gil has chosen to do is interesting, I think, contrast to other opera we see in the city. And I deeply hope he succeeds.
Can we pull it off in an opera environment where companies are folding? Well, I think so, because I think the pieces that are out there that are going to be part of our repertoire are going to be exciting for people. And I don't think any of the opera companies that have had trouble are in trouble because of the adventurousness of their programming. They may be in trouble because of the conservative nature of their programming. I believe that people are interested in music and interested in opera and interested in, everybody loves Bohème. Nobody loves Bohème more than me. But I'd rather give a different gift.